Hey everybody, how you doing today? It is August 14th, 2020, about 2 p.m. here in northern Michigan. Hope everybody is having a good day today. We're going to get into these wildfires that are literally just breaking out everywhere. I made a quick video last night just showing a little bit of it, but we have multiple in Colorado. You have the Pine Gulch fire, which is just massive. Right here says Pine Gulch fire update. Wildfire outside Grand Junction becomes the fourth largest in Colorado history. The fire grew to 73,381 acres overnight. I mean, it's just crazy. Says the fire sparked by lightning July 31st remains at 7% contained. The Pine Gulch fire officials said Friday morning on Facebook. Says crews have managed to keep the flames from crossing Garfield 204, where residents and oil and gas operations sit. That is so dangerous. Friday we will mark another hot and dry day, ripe for extreme fire conditions, officials note, with smoke continuing to be seen across the area. You know, it just frustrates me so much because and I know that they can push and control this weather. They've been able to forever. So if they really wanted to stop this, it could be stopped and prevented. And it just shows truly how evil this world is that we are living in right now. You know, there are a couple other stories I wanted to talk about today. Another one was just real quick. There was a 5-year-old boy that was killed. He was riding his bike on his neighbor's lawn, and the guy came out and shot him and killed him. He was just riding his bike. You know, that is just the evil that you see these days that you just never thought you would ever, see. It's just crazy. But, so you have the Pine Gulch fire, which is just, is massive. Let's see the size of it here. I believe this will show the size. Yes, look at this, okay? Look at the size of this thing. They have highways shut down, everywhere. It's just huge. And then not only that, you have the Grizzly Creek fire, okay, which is this one. It says, look at this update too. It says wildfire forces more evacuation as it continues to spread through Glenwood Canyon. This is from this morning at 9:42 a.m. It says the fire grows to 14,663 acres and I-70 remain closed through Glenwood Canyon. It's just one after another. Says a fire burning in Glenwood Canyon grew to 14,663 acres, forcing more evacuations and leading fire commanders to advise residents in North Glenwood Springs to be ready for rapidly changing conditions. Fire officials expect the fire on Friday to continue to spread along the Colorado River Interstate 70 corridor, and there's potential for extreme fire behavior if winds pick up or the fire aligns with the downward slope, fire officials wrote on an incident website, and that frustrates me too. You notice how whatever happened to the word forest fire? Do you realize that just a few years ago, when all of those fires happened and we all called them out and said, what kind of a forest fire doesn't, burns houses but doesn't burn the forest, that they literally changed the terminology so that you and other people and I don't catch that? I mean, that's what they're trying to do, and it works for the masses, but it doesn't work for us, but right? Now everything's a wildfire. Wildfire, wildfire, wildfire. They just changed the wording so that it doesn't stand out the way that it did before. A forest fire that doesn't burn the forest. Wow, that's a great headline, right? For us to use. Well, now they're just wildfires and they just destroy everything. They just turn, everything into ash. They melt aluminum into liquid. It's just, it doesn't make any sense. This is directed energy being used, and, where it's not directed energy, they are using, weather warfare in other ways. I'm going to leave links to these in the description, but I want to show you, this is the one that's really bad right now in LA. This is the lake fire in California, continues to rage, growing to 11,000 acres. I mean, look at this thing. This thing is massive. See if we can play this real quick. Did that just say to get you through hell?
Tonight, an explosive wildfire is threatening more than 200 homes an hour north of Los Angeles. It's one of several fires in the region. The COVID pandemic is complicating evacuation procedures, and a dangerous heat wave is moving in. CBS's Jamie Yukas in Lake Hughes, California. Jamie?
Margaret, officials are describing this fire as extreme. At the height, flames tore through homes, cars, and thousands of acres of national forest in just a matter of hours.
Flames ripped through more than 10,000 acres.
This is insane.
The lake fire quickly exploded, creating its own weather system and this fire tornado. Multiple homes destroyed and hundreds of residents forced to evacuate.
Stayed as long as we could, but it was kind of surrounding the house, and me and the neighbors evacuated as flames kind of engulfed his house.
The Angeles National Forest now charred, burning an area untouched since the late 60s.
That's why this one was so surprising. Early enough in the year, not primarily wind-driven, and the fact that it just increased in size so rapidly, that was somewhat of a rare event.
More than 1,000 firefighters are battling the blaze, taking advantage of today's favorable conditions to try to get the upper hand in this firefight. But crews are still worried.
So what are you most concerned about?
So far, we've been fortunate with the winds, but as you can see right now, we're starting to get gusts of winds that's coming up.
Now, besides those winds, this area is in an excessive heat warning for at least the next 4 days. That's why firefighters expect to be on scene here until at least next week. Margaret?
Okay, so do you think she needed to be standing there like that? How annoying is that? She's standing there with her perfect little yellow coat on and her mask on. Really, you need a mask out in the middle of open? You're not even around anything. You're not around anybody. But and you think this isn't publicity? You think this isn't, mind control? I mean, they're just shoving this stuff right in your face, and it created its own weather. Really? It created another fire tornado? I guess that's just normal now, right, everybody? I guess that's what we just have to realize, that it's just normal, because that's what the masses are trying, to believe, that they are believing. It's really bad. It's really bad that they're falling for what is happening. That is pure weather warfare. That is directed energy, and it is destroying so many places. And they're going to blame it on the heat, and they're going to say that the virus is going to spread because of this. It's just unbelievable. Oh, because of the heat, they're spreading, people flock to the beaches and recreational areas. They're just going to continue to do this. So please, share this information, continue to talk about this stuff. And if you have anybody in Oregon, California, Colorado, or anywhere we're dealing with these fires, get out. Please get out, get away. We all feel another paradise is just around the corner, and this one could be worse. So please, please get out. We'll talk to you all soon. Continue to pray. I love you all. God bless.